mean, when this was really coming into the spotlight this morning, as you saw, you had Caroline Levitt's statement there kind of belittling this as fake outrage. And they didn't initially, delete it when they were faced with immediate questions. Yes, they have now. And talking to historians and, just other people reacting to this post, you do hear people saying that those with common sense would see this as a racist trope, right? That it channels the minstrel depictions that you would see from slave traders and segregationists that sought to dehumanize Black Americans, particularly prominent Black Americans as well, to see them as inhuman, right? And I think that's why you're seeing this outrage, including cracks in a Republican base and Republican members of Congress that seldom criticize this White House. It's also just worth saying, like, this is definitely something that has seemed to provoke criticism we don't usually see, but the president does have a history of posting and saying derogatory things about people of color, of immigrants. It wasn't too long ago, he went on a xenophobic tirade against Somalis as well, and Somali Americans. During the campaign, we remember the comments, the false comments about Haitians eating pets as well, that I know prompted a lot of fear in that community. So, this is a president also whose political rise came about from questioning the citizenship of the former president as well. So, you've seen that the standards have almost been lowered to the point where you can see these kind of posts and a White House that thinks they can also talk their way out of it and say it was, a staffer that posted it. But there's been a sort of trend of how we got to this point as well.
There was also that, just when you were running through some of the past times we've seen the president posts things like this. Remember, and they still post this, the White House, the sombreros on Hakeem Jeffries, right, obviously a Black man, and Chuck Schumer, and they've continued to lean into that. So I just wanted to add to that because that's not something they've run away from it like they have in this case.
And I just want to underscore, because there's a lot coming at you at home, what Elena reported at the top, which is that her sources have been telling you that Republican lawmakers called Trump directly about this. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, we saw another member, Mike Lawler, who's in a tough re-election battle for his district in New York State, also do the and apologize, as you're saying. So it's interesting to hear a lot of Republicans using that word, that they're seeking an apology as well, or believe Donald Trump or the White House should offer one. There is, when stuff like this happens, there's all this, was there strategy behind this? Was he doing? And it just feels all ridiculous to me. Like, it's a blatant racist trope. I mean, that's just a fact. It's a blatant racist trope on the social media feed of the President of the United States of America. It doesn't belong anywhere. It certainly doesn't belong on a social media feed of the President of the United States of America. And so the White House press secretary can bemoan fake outrage, which clearly it seemed like she didn't understand, she was not reading the room correctly, like didn't understand where this was going and how quickly the White House was going to take it down. Because to your point, I don't think she would have offered that statement if she thought this is where it was going to be a couple of hours later. But it is so clearly unacceptable, and then you wonder and think, does Donald Trump, is he reading the room right? Has he lost, because what you're saying of all these cracks and Republicans calling and saying, and really quickly, much more quickly than we normally see, I take away this, I think he has lost a bit of the assuredness, political footing beneath his feet right now. He is at the political low point of his term right now. We are months away from a midterm election. We know how nervous Republicans are, and I think that speaks to the speed in which something this blatantly wrong gets called out from his own party as wrong. Yeah.